Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. We are going to close out the show with author Lola Bakary. We're going to talk a little bit about DEI.
It is a pleasure, Keisha, especially to discuss this topic with someone in the city of Atlanta, where all of the magic is happening.
Absolutely. You know, it's such a hot topic. It should be a topic all the time, but it's such a hot topic right now with so many companies kind of doing away with DEI. Can we talk a little bit about the consumers' concerns?
Yeah, I think consumers' concerns are that they don't know right now at a global macro level who they can trust. And what's interesting is that in the years following, that confluence of events, and you might even call it some kind of a renaissance around DEI, following the tragic deaths of many Black men, including that precipitous moment of George Floyd. We were all at home with COVID. We had to watch. We couldn't look away. And then we saw these amazing things begin to happen that we'd always wanted in the corporate sector. And we saw something really interesting happen on the back of that. Edelman's Trust Barometer, the reports that came out in 2021, the following year, consumers trusted brands more than governments.
You're right.
And then you fast forward to a few years later, and we know, some of us believe, we can't trust some of what's going on in the government of our beloved United States of America, of which I am a patriot. Got to get that out there to make sure that, no one's listening.
Yeah, we don't want you to get in trouble.
Right, exactly. But now, from a brand standpoint, can you trust brands either because they're just listening to what is coming out of Washington on any given day as far as what their edict is? So that doesn't feel leaderly. It doesn't feel brave. Those are the values that consumers really care about. Even before you start to think about the distinct social issues that people may have differing opinions on. One thing that all consumers believe in is leadership, bravery, commitment, doing what you say you're going to do. And we're not seeing that happen. So it's leading to a lot of challenges.
And it's scary for the consumer because a lot of these companies, we trusted, right? We felt like, okay, they're behind us, they have our backs. But now, as a consumer, there's a little wavering. Can we talk a little bit about how DEI is, more of a business strategy and less of a political stance? Like,
it is absolutely a business strategy. We know that. I've been having a lot of these discussions, and one of the things that always comes up is that we're in a place where feelings are driving decisions and not facts. But the business sector has always been focused on facts. In fact, if anything, DEI was criticized for not being fact-based enough. But now that we have all of our receipts, it's gone to this place of feelings where the only thing that we're hearing is it's illegal. These illegal policies. There's no explanation as to why, but companies are scared. And I know the one that you're talking about as far as where a lot of trust, especially in the Black community, was put in the LGBT community as well. Target has been a champion of communities who have not had as much representation, who may have been underestimated. We don't like to say, underprivileged, we like to say underestimated because that's really what it was. And they built their business on the back of doing the right thing for us. So it feels like even more of a betrayal when that person that you relied on to always be the steadfast, who knew Target was going to be less progressive than Goldman Sachs? I mean, that's the world that we're living in. So the business has suffered as a result. The CEO recently has come out in admitting that, which was completely unexpected, at least to me. I'm even hearing rumblings, allegedly, that some shareholders are looking to sue, saying that they weren't made fully aware enough about the risks of moving away from DEI, or else they wouldn't have voted for it.
Wow.
So again, when facts prevail, we know that these policies help to create better workforces, they help to create better product assortments, they help to create a world where the multicultural United States that we're moving towards, the majority multicultural United States that we're moving towards, has the offerings that they need in the marketplace, and companies can grow as a result of that. So if you want to grow, you can't move away from your growth engine. And so that bit of sort of illogical thinking that a lot of these decisions are based on, I think we're going to see it start to reverse. We're already seeing it with folks like Apple, Harvard, Costco standing up.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing Americans don't mess with, it's our money. That is bipartisan. And so I do think we're going to see some resolution in the next couple of months here.
Well, thanks so much for making time for us here on Focus Atlanta. We have the book website up there for everybody to check it out. Thank you so much for making time for us. It was good to meet you.
It's such a pleasure, Keisha. We got to do this again.
Absolutely. All right, guys, please take the opportunity to go to the website, get your copy, and you know what? Let's continue to have the conversation. Let's continue to put the pressure on, because that's how change is made. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to this week's episode of Focus Atlanta. I hope to see you next Sunday here on WUPA.